Traveling 200 miles by dog sled in minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit isn't a small thing. The cold cuts through your coat, the wind never stops, and the snow goes on forever. The only way to keep going is with strong dogs and gear. And believe me, nothing about it is easy. The wind cuts through my layers like a knife as I watch Aklak prepare our sled for the journey ahead. 200 miles across the frozen landscape awaits us, and all that stands between survival and disaster is this wooden contraption before me. This Kamatik has been in my family for 3 generations, Aklak tells me as he runs his gloved hand along the smooth wooden runners. If my childhood toboggan was a paper airplane, this Kamatik is a space shuttle. I crouch down to examine the sled more closely. Unlike anything I've seen before, this is a masterpiece of Arctic engineering. The curved runners are made from wood that's been soaked for days and carefully bent into shape. Too stiff and it breaks on the rough ice. Too flexible and it won't support our weight, Aklak explains. I notice the bindings made from seal skin that hold the wooden slats together, not a single nail in sight. Metal becomes brittle in extreme cold, he says, tugging at the bindings. These seal skin ties actually tighten as they freeze. Mother Nature's zip ties. When we're 100 miles from home and something breaks, we can repair it with what we find. We begin loading the sled with supplies. Despite its seemingly delicate construction, this 50-pound wooden frame can carry over 500 pounds of gear. That's like your tiny smartphone holding 10 bowling balls, he jokes. The space between the runners is precisely 27 inches apart. Too wide makes steering impossible, too narrow, and we'd constantly tip over. It's like finding the perfect pair of pants, he says with a grin. Too tight and you can't move. Too loose and they fall down at the worst possible moment. I notice another sled nearby with runners made from whale jawbone rather than wood. When driftwood is scarce, we use what we have. We were upcycling long before it became trendy in your coffee shops. He shows me how they coat these bone runners with a mixture of moss and water that freezes to create a slick surface. The crosspieces connecting the runners are lashed with sinew cord. When Aklak pushes down on one corner, the whole structure bends but doesn't break. The entire sled can twist and flex, allowing it to conform to the uneven terrain we'll be traveling across. As we finish securing our supplies, I notice the dog team growing restless, eager to begin our journey. These powerful animals watch us intently, their breath creating a fog around their eager faces. "The sled is ready," Aklak announces, patting the frame affectionately. He looks up with a hint of pride in his eyes. Now we need to prepare for what comes next. A sled this well-built deserves worthy companions for the journey ahead. The companions Aklak mentioned soon come into view. 8 powerful dogs, their thick fur coats dusted with snow. Unlike my neighbor's Chihuahua that shivers when the air conditioning turns on, these dogs consider minus 40 degrees t-shirt weather. Their muscles ripple beneath thick double coats, evolved over centuries to withstand the harshest conditions on Earth. Each dog has a specific job, Aklak explains as he begins harnessing the team. So there's no team mascot who just runs around to boost morale, I ask. Aklak smiles. In minus 60 degrees, we can't afford passengers, not even funny ones. He leads me to meet the first dog, a keen-eyed female with alert ears. This is our lead dog. She makes all the important decisions, he says with respect. She understands over 20 different commands and sets the pace for everyone else. She can spot dangerous ice or the best path through a storm when I can't see anything. Traditional Inuit mushers spend years training lead dogs, starting when they're just puppies. They look for specific traits, intelligence, good judgment, and a natural sense of direction. A good lead dog can remember trail routes even after years of not traveling them. So she's basically the CEO of the dog world, I say, and Aklak laughs. Behind the lead dog come 2 swing dogs. They help turn the team when commands are given. These are like middle management, I suggest. They take orders from above and make sure everyone below follows them. Aklak nods. Yes, except unlike middle management, these guys never hold pointless meetings. Next come 4 team dogs, the powerhouses that provide most of the pulling strength. These middle dogs are our engine, Aklak explains. One good team dog can pull more than 300 pounds across ice for hours. That's impressive, I say. My gym membership costs $50 a month, and I complain when I have to carry groceries up one flight of stairs. Finally, closest to the sled itself, are the wheel dogs, the largest and strongest of the bunch. Wheel dogs need to be smart about the sled, Aklak tells me. They're the only ones who can see it, so they need to know when to slow down or speed up to keep it from tipping over. The harness system looks simple. A central gang line runs from the sled, with individual tug lines connecting each dog to it. Every tug line has to be just the right length, Aklak demonstrates. Too short and the dog can't run properly. Too long and they get tangled. It's like trying to organize headphone cords in your pocket, except these cords bark and have teeth. When fully harnessed, the team stretches about 40 feet in front of the sled. They stand alert, focused, and ready for action. The same look my family gets when someone announces pizza has been delivered. "The sled is ready. The team is harnessed," Aklak says, checking the last tug line. Now comes the tricky part, getting them moving together while staying on the sled. It's a dance that requires perfect balance and timing. "Ready?" Aklak asks, standing behind me on the sled runners. Before I can answer, he calls out a command, and suddenly, we're moving. The transition from stillness to motion is immediate, like being yanked forward by 8 furry rockets. My heart jumps into my throat faster than a teenager's hand grabs the last slice of pizza. The first thing that strikes me is the sound. Not the roar of an engine or the rumble of wheels, but a strange symphony of soft sounds. The gentle scrape of wooden runners on snow, the rhythmic panting of dogs, the occasional jingle of harness hardware, and the constant whisper of cold air rushing past my ears. It's like nature's version of surround sound, except without ads every 15 minutes. "Gee!" Aklak calls, and the team veers right, responding instantly to his voice. "Haw!" And they turn left. No steering wheel needed, just commands that have been used for hundreds of years. The lead dog translates Aklak's words into action, and the rest of the team follows her lead. I'm stunned by how fast we're moving. Across flat terrain, a good dog team can reach 15 miles per hour, faster than most people can run. Over a full day's travel, they might average 8 to 10 miles per hour, covering over 100 miles if conditions are good. In races like the Iditarod, elite teams sometimes travel over 150 miles in 24 hours. That's like running 6 marathons back to back while pulling a small apartment behind you. And I get winded climbing one flight of stairs to avoid the broken elevator in my building. My hands grip the handlebar of the sled tightly as we hit a small bump. The sled flexes and absorbs the shock, but staying upright requires constant micro-adjustments of balance. I'm essentially standing on 2 narrow strips of wood while being pulled across ice at running speed. My legs shake like they're auditioning for a bowl of jelly. "Lean right when I lean right, left when I lean left," Aklak instructs from behind me. The sled follows your body, not the other way around. We approach a small hill, and the dogs dig in harder, their powerful legs driving us forward and up. As we crest the top, gravity takes over and we pick up speed on the downslope. Now the challenge changes. Aklak drags one foot in the snow as a brake to keep us from overrunning the dogs. It's the world's coldest version of a roller coaster, except instead of a safety bar, all I have is hope and increasingly sweaty palms, which is saying something in minus 60 degrees. Too fast, and we'll crash into them. Too slow, and the tug lines go slack, he explains. Always maintain tension, but never too much. The dogs seem to know exactly how fast to go without being told. They adjust their pace based on terrain, snow conditions, and how the sled feels behind them. The wheel dogs, those closest to the sled, are constantly making tiny speed adjustments that ripple forward through the team. I notice Aklak barely speaks. An occasional command or a quick word of praise to the dogs is all that's needed. His efficiency with words makes teen text messages look like novels. "Whoa!" he calls as we approach a patch of rough ice. The team slows but doesn't stop completely. We navigate the hazard at a careful trot before resuming our previous pace on smoother terrain. "How do you know when to slow down?" I ask. "You feel it through the runners," he replies. "The sled talks to you. Smooth snow feels one way, rough ice another, soft spots another. After a while, you can read the trail through your feet." Standing behind me, Aklak demonstrates how to shift weight from one runner to the other, making the sled snake gently around obstacles. It's like surfing on snow, requiring balance, anticipation, and trust in your team. My first attempts at steering resemble a drunk penguin trying to walk a tightrope. Don't worry, Aklak says. Most beginners spend more time face down in the snow than standing on the runners. After an hour of travel, I begin to understand what he meant about the dance. The dogs, the sled, and the musher move as one entity across the landscape, each responding to the others in a continuous flow of energy and motion. When it works right, it feels effortless, like flying just inches above the frozen ground. When it doesn't work right, it feels like 8 eager dogs trying to drag your face through an ice sculpture competition. As spectacular as this dance of motion is, I notice the sun beginning its early descent toward the horizon. Soon, we'll need to make our first stop, and that's when another kind of work begins. After several hours of traveling across the frozen landscape, Aklak signals that it's time to stop. Every rest stop follows a careful routine, a checklist that means the difference between continuing safely or facing problems later. It's like airplane safety procedures, except instead of oxygen masks dropping from the ceiling, you've got 8 furry athletes who need attention now. First, secure the sled. Aklak drives a metal snow hook into the packed snow. This simple anchor keeps the eager dogs from taking off while we rest. They stare at us with the same look teenagers give when the Wi-Fi goes down, a mix of confusion and betrayal at why we're stopping their fun. Why are they not tired? I ask, flexing my own stiff legs. They are tired, but they're built for this, Aklak explains. At home, they might sleep 18 hours a day. Out here, their work mode stays switched on. Must be nice, I mutter. My work mode crashes faster than my computer after a Windows update. Aklak moves through the team methodically, examining each animal from nose to tail. The inspection is more thorough than airport security, but unlike TSA agents, Aklak actually finds problems before they become disasters. He pays special attention to their paws, removing any snow packed between their toes and applying a special protective wax to prevent cracking and freezing. A good musher knows every dog's body as well as his own, he tells me. I know when my dogs need a rest before they do, just like parents know their toddler needs a nap before the meltdown begins. Next, Aklak melts snow on a small portable stove, then mixes it with frozen fish broth from a thermos. It smells absolutely terrible to me, but the dogs look at this fishy cocktail like it's a gourmet smoothie after a CrossFit workout. Each dog gets about 1 liter of water. A working sled dog can drink 4 to 6 liters per day, more than double what an average person drinks. While the dogs drink, Aklak massages their shoulder and leg muscles. Working dogs are athletes. They need massage like Olympic runners do. This is better care than I've gotten at some spas, I joke. Do they leave reviews online afterward? They leave reviews by how well they run tomorrow, Aklak replies with a smile. Once cared for, the dogs curl into tight balls in the snow, many digging shallow depressions as windbreaks. They sleep in snow at -40 like it's a 5-star hotel, while I need the perfect pillow, mattress and room temperature just to doze off at home. Huskies can sleep comfortably in temperatures as low as -60 by controlling their metabolism, Aklak explains. These short power naps give them about 80% of the recovery of a full sleep cycle. As the dogs rest, Aklak begins rummaging through a bag attached to the sled. Now comes another important part of our journey, he says, pulling out small packages wrapped in animal hide. Time to refuel the engines. The small packages Aklak unwraps contain what looks like frozen meat mixed with fat. As he begins distributing these to the now alert dogs, I'm struck by how eagerly they accept their meals. They go from sleeping to eating faster than a college student hearing the words free pizza. What exactly are they eating, I ask, watching a particularly enthusiastic husky devour its portion in 3 bites. This is their trail food, Aklak explains. Mostly seal meat mixed with fat. In the deep cold, regular dog food doesn't work. The dogs need food that gives quick energy and helps them stay warm. I wish human energy bars tasted that good, I say. Mine tastes like someone compressed a health textbook into a rectangle and added artificial banana flavor. The science behind sled dog nutrition is fascinating. When traveling in temperatures that can drop to 60 degrees below zero, these animals burn calories at an astonishing rate. A working sled dog can consume between 10,000 and 12,000 calories per day, 5 to 6 times what an average human eats. That's like eating a whole pizza every hour and still losing weight, I note. The diet plan nobody can stick to because you'd never leave the kitchen. Traditional Inuit mushers have always fed their dogs a diet high in fat, often up to 60%, which provides maximum calories in minimum weight. This matters when every extra pound on the sled makes the journey harder. We can't carry enough dry food for a long trip, Aklak continues. Too heavy, too bulky. This meat and fat mix is compact but very rich in energy. I watch as he gives each dog the exact same amount, but slightly larger portions to the wheel dogs, those closest to the sled who do some of the heaviest pulling. Different positions, different energy needs, he explains. Just like human athletes in different sports eat different diets. Besides their main meals, Aklak carries snacks to reward the dogs during brief stops. These small chunks of frozen fish or meat serve as both motivation and quick energy boosts. How do you know how much to feed them? I ask. You watch their bodies, he answers. Too thin, they need more. Too heavy, they struggle to run. On long journeys, most dogs lose some weight no matter how much you feed them. That's the opposite of human vacations, I point out, where the goal seems to be returning home 10 pounds heavier and blaming it on the hotel breakfast buffet. The timing of meals matters too. Dogs aren't fed immediately before running, as this can cause digestive problems. Instead, they eat during longer rest periods when their bodies can properly process the food. The heaviest meal comes at night when they have several hours to digest. In deep cold, digestion creates heat, Aklak explains. Feeding them before sleep helps them stay warm through the night. Their stomach becomes a little furnace. As the dogs finish their meals and settle back down for a final rest before our next run, I sense a change in the team's energy. They seem more content, more connected to each other and to us. This feeding ritual has strengthened something beyond just their bodies. Beyond the technical skills of handling a dog sled, there exists something much deeper between these animals and their human partners. I see it in the way Aklak speaks to his team and how they respond to his voice, even when barely audible over the howling wind. It's like they share some secret language that doesn't require shouting, unlike my family dinners where we can't decide where to eat, even when everyone's screaming their preferences. How long have you worked with these dogs? I ask as we prepare to set off again. Some since they were puppies, he replies. The lead dog is 8 years old. She's been with me for 7 of those years. We know each other better than most married couples. She probably argues less too, I suggest, and Aklak laughs. Unlike pet ownership, the bond between musher and sled dog is built on mutual dependence. In the harsh Arctic environment, this relationship isn't just about companionship, it's about survival. My cat at home, meanwhile, would watch me struggle to open a can of tuna and then act like I should thank him for supervising the process. Last winter, we were caught in a whiteout, Aklak tells me as we glide across the snow. I couldn't see more than an arm's length ahead. No visibility, no landmarks. I was lost. He nods toward the lead dog. But she wasn't. She found our way back to the route. Dogs can smell trails under feet of fresh snow, sense changes in ice thickness, even feel shifts in air pressure that warn of storms. Each dog in the team has a distinct personality. Aklak points to one of the team dogs, a broad-chested male with mismatched eyes. This one loves to pull, but hates deep snow. He'll run until his heart bursts on hardpack, but start complaining the minute snow gets above his elbows. Sounds like me at the gym, I admit. I'll happily run on the treadmill, but threaten to call a lawyer if the trainer suggests burpees. The relationship goes beyond just knowing their quirks. A good musher learns to match dogs based on complementary traits, pairing a cautious dog with a bolder one, an experienced dog with a younger one. Studies show that sled dog teams that have been together for multiple seasons complete journeys up to 30% faster than teams with the same physical abilities, but less experience together. It's like a workplace where everyone actually likes each other and knows how to collaborate without mandatory team-building exercises. Do they know when something's wrong with you? I ask. Always, Aklak confirms. 2 years ago, I had fever on the trail, very sick. The dogs slowed their pace without me asking, they knew. When I needed to stop, they circled around me in the snow, made a wall against the wind with their bodies, kept me warm all night. Research suggests that sled dogs can detect changes in human stress hormones through scent, allowing them to respond to a mush's emotional state even before the human recognizes it themselves. So they're basically furry mood rings that are actually accurate, I say. Unlike those color-changing rings from the 90s that just told everyone you had sweaty fingers. In the most difficult moments of Arctic travel, when storms rage and temperatures plummet, this bond becomes the difference between life and death. Human and dog, each bringing different strengths, work together as a single unit. As our journey continues across the vast white landscape, I begin to understand that we're not just 8 dogs and 2 humans traveling together. We're a team, bound by trust forged in one of the world's most challenging environments.